To the Madlanga Commission, now SABC News reporter Canny Maphanga was tracking developments of the sitting today and compiled the following report for us.
High-ranking SAPS official, that is Lieutenant General Hilda Sentumele, has completed her evidence before the Madlanga Commission that is probing those allegations of corruption, political interference in the criminal justice system. And of course, she's peeled over those layers into the circumstances surrounding the disbandment of the PKTT and of course the directives that Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya, that is the now suspended Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, would have issued in light of that announcement by the Minister of Police. It seems that she has echoed a similar tune to some of the witnesses that we've heard before about the hasty approach in which this PKTT was disbanded. What is special about this witness, it doesn't seem that she has any bone in this fight or that she is in any side regarding this battle relating to the PKTT, but what she does have is WhatsApp exchanges that seemingly suggest that the hasty approach allegedly by Sibiya could have been attributed to the fact that he had sent messages to her about his suspicions about counterintelligence together with the PKTT's assistants allegedly investigating him, and he had expressed concerns about that, although at the time she didn't read much into those particular concerns by Sibiya, because she says that she too had faced that before. She'd been placed in that similar position. But after the July announcement, she said that she started to see a clearer picture as to what was taking place, and then at that point she didn't want anything to do with this particular event because it seemed that it was not in order, that it was allegedly hasty, and it was taking place without the involvement of Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi, who is the KZN top cop, with respect to the movement of the dockets, them staying for a short period of time and then having to return back to KZN after the reason was stated is that they were there to be transferred back to those particular units and that there was no need for the political killings task team. But what is seemingly being suggested is that not only did they go to the headquarters and store those investigations because those dockets were not moving, they were allegedly gathering dust, but it seems that there may have been an alleged intention to see what was in those dockets, because it became clear that those investigations by counterintelligence were honing in on those alleged criminal syndicates who are alleged to be allegedly tied to Sibiya. So we expect that with the end of this evidence that it's likely going to form part of phase one as the Commission edges closer to penning that report, the prelim report, for the President by the 17th of September 2025. But in the last week, one wonders whether or not there'll be some implicated persons that will be appearing in the next week that have faced serious allegations before this probe. It seems that although in phase one it was easier to conduct because those witnesses came willingly, a lot of the witnesses that must come during phase two, which is implicated persons, are persons that have to be subpoenaed and given those Rule 3 notices. So the schedule has been a bit shaky in that regard, but it seems that at least in the final week we may be hearing from some of those implicated persons. Of course, we can't name them at this stage, in order for that prelim report to begin, I guess, the drafting process rather by the Commission's bench in order to meet that quote-unquote deadline of the 17th of September 2025. The Commission returns on Monday at 9:30 a.m. and we'll see whether or not we are firmly in phase two or if we'll continue with phase one of the hearings.